Hi everyone. I'm not sure how this will go this morning. I am about to do a balance on the state of Queensland. Our election comes up in 2 weeks. As you know, I'm standing as a political candidate for the Informed Medical Options Party, and I'm hearing stories. Personally, I've only been yelled at a couple of times, and it's usually people who are very pro-vaccine who simply do not understand anything the other side of that coin. And one of my mothers the other night was telling us that when she was handing out flyers, she got called a baby killer by a 13-year-old. I've got another mum in the group who her child came home from school and pretty much said, "Why aren't you going to get the vaccine? This coronavirus is really bad." So our schools seem to be indoctrinating our children. Our politicians and mainstream media obviously are. And because of that, there's a lot of fear, there's a lot of hatred, there's a lot of mothers against mothers. There's a lot of anger and frustration and inability to hear what's going on behind the scenes. So this is going to be a bit of an interesting balance. I'm already starting to feel the heart energy, actually, even just having said that. So I'm just going to just concentrate on the energy of Queensland for a moment. And actually, I'm going to try to tap into the US as well, because your election's coming up a few days after ours. And I know there's so much of the same energy going on in America with all of the big political fires going on at the moment. So they're the two big elections that I know of at the moment. So I'll just try to energetically tap on in. I think I have no choice but to start with heart energy, so I'm just going to use an etheric body here as a surrogate for Queensland and the US. And I know politically it's not the same, but it's all about freedom, it's all about choice, it's all about love, it's all about caring for other human beings and the people who are out there and they're so closed in their views that they simply can't open their eyes and look at what is going on. Okay, so actually I'm looking at a quartz crystal there, so I think I'm going to grab this and just ask the heart energy of Queensland and the heart energy of the US to open up, to allow me in, to allow some love, some care, some nurturing. Okay. So the combination with the heart energy. So it's heart. The lacrimal glands, that's where teardrops come from, and the little lacrimal bones have the teardrops attached. And the maxilla, that's on the roof of the mouth. So I've got that little heart chakra combo in. Okay, and that's in 3rd stage stress. So that's the unconscious brain going, "Oh my God, life is going to be stressful forever." How many of our elderly are sitting in aged care homes wondering if they'll ever see their families again? How many children are thinking they're never going to see another child's face again? How many family members are just so terrified to hug another human? So our heart energy It's really blocked because of fear. Okay, I know some of you don't like the tuning fork energy, but I'm going to do that, see what's going on. Okay, so no surprise, first energy is heart. Heart, small intestine. Okay, so in the fire element, so putting out fires of hatred, fires of evil, fires of this energetic dysfunction. The fire element it's heart and small intestine actually feed each other energy. So heart is the yin, it's the feminine, it's the internal emotions, and small intestine's the masculine, the doing, the externalized emotions that you can see, but the two of them really oscillate energy to and from each other, heart and small intestine, from an etheric Chinese medicine perspective. Yeah, there's some big energy in here. I'm actually shaking. So that's the adrenaline. It's the fear. So I'm feeling quite a bit of energy in this circuit. Definitely need my glasses on for this one. It's on a red page. So heart, small intestine combination is to do with the guilt and manipulation. That's really interesting. So the under energy, so that's the yin, that's the heart. That's about manipulation. So our hearts are being manipulated across the world. And isn't that what we've been hearing all year? If you go outside without a mask on, you're killing my granny. If you don't get vaccinated, you're killing my child. So we're hearing this guilt and manipulation, and we've been hearing it across the world all year. Vervain is the flower essence. And I always think of vervain, it's like that cat energy. It's like that manipulative, I love cats, by the way. I had a cat for 21 years. He let me hug him at least 10 times. And, it's that sort of energy of a cat that just, they have the control. They allow you to touch when they want you to touch. Otherwise, you don't go near them. So, and that's what our little Zuko was like. You can guess where Zuko came from. So let's have a look. What do I need to do with it? I'm assuming the heart chakra, heart meridian, small intestine meridian, figure 8 energy, and figure 8. Okay, so on the back, on the front, on the face, on the torso, on the legs, on the feet. Okay, so we're going to do figure 8 energy. We're going to do heart energy first, and that's really blocking the energy through this whole area, which is about allowing us to move forward. And it's at the bottom of the feet. So with that lack of heart energy going on, we're not able to feel safe and grounded and secure. Okay. I take responsibility for my attitudes and now choose to kindly, gently, lovingly, and supportively transform my seeking to convert others to my belief system and my high-strung mental processes into all-encompassing love. I make the commitment to kindly, gently, lovingly, and supportively encourage everyone to actualize themselves, practice relaxation, and align my personal will with universal will. I take responsibility for my attitudes and now choose to kindly, gently, lovingly, and supportively transcend my high-strung mental processes into all-encompassing love. I make the commitment to kindly, gently, lovingly, and supportively encourage everyone to actualize themselves, practice relaxation, and align my personal will with universal will. I take responsibility for my attitudes and now choose to kindly, gently, lovingly, and supportively dissolve my relentless overexertion and overextension of energies into all-encompassing love. I make the commitment to kindly, gently, lovingly, and supportively Encourage everyone to actualize themselves, practice relaxation, and align my personal will with universal will. Crown chakra. Top of the head. Brow chakra. Over the eyes. Throat chakra. Speaking your truth. Heart chakra. Owning your true will, not taking on other people's hatred. Solar plexus chakra. Knowing that you are in control of your sovereignty and your personal power. Sacral chakra, owning your masculinity, owning your femininity, owning your gender. Base chakra, feeling safe and secure and grounded on this amazing planet. Eighth chakra, feeling the earth's energy, feeling the love emanating from our beautiful planet and from human beings around the world. Okay, so once again, tapping in Queensland in the US. Third stage stress, we'll see where it's at. Okay, so it's back to second stage stress. So where do we need to go? Okay, so there's a whole bunch of loss of trust that's going on. So I choose to trust. I choose to feel love in people around me. I choose to trust my own honesty and integrity and belief systems. Okay, trust and trust issues. Okay. And energetically going into the amygdala. Right, so it's escape, submission, freeze. I'll do it on myself simultaneously since I can. Okay. So wanting to run away, just wanting to submit or being happy to submit, wanting to freeze and not go anywhere. Our governments have imprinted on us, well, actually the World Health Organization and the United Nations started this when they put out the edicts to shut down the world, to shut down economies, to do testing on healthy humans around the planet, which has never been done before. So they have created a numbers game this year where everyone's looking at the numbers and the fear has gone up exponentially. So no wonder so many people are just happy to not pay attention, happy to submit, happy to freeze to what the powers that be are saying, or the powers that they trust are saying. There's so much misinformation out there as well. And once again, that's in the game plan, the Rockefeller 2010. It's creating division between human beings, creating division between the races, creating division between political ideologies. It's a part of a big plan to create more control. Okay, the next one showing up is there's a part of the brain called the hippocampus. So tapping into the hippocampus, which is a memory center. And particularly, this is a lack of motivation due to internal negativity. So it's like when the world just feels so, it's an old pain and punishment circuit. The world is in such a place. How can you be motivated when you don't know what's coming next? There are very few people in the world standing up at the moment for the choice of every human to put into their body what they choose to put into our bodies, into their bodies. And I find that really scary that so few people are standing up. And yeah, obviously, because most people simply watch the mainstream media, and that is so aimed in a certain direction politically that, like, I actually, I'm not going to tell you who this was, but until April, I had a particular mindset that I'd had for several years, and that totally flipped when I started paying attention to something. And it was very interesting once I started seeing what was going on in the media. And once you're aware of it, it is like waking up. And I think those of us who are still asleep, and it's not going to be you obviously, but those of us who are still asleep simply aren't seeing the other side of things. They're simply not seeing it. Okay. A little heart energy. So now I'm just going to start adding in the whole of Australia. All of the Americas. New Zealand. All up around Europe. And Africa. Yeah, Africa. Interesting. That felt like totally different energy there. Maybe they're less fearful. Maybe there's less mainstream media. There was a lot more something that was just interesting. And the Asian Pacific area. Okay. Okay, heart energy's clear. There's a reticular activating circuit going on, so we'll sort of look at that. Right, so there's a hormone, acetylcholine. It's switching off serotonin. So acetylcholine is like a trauma, fear, high level adrenaline. It creates anxiety, it creates stress, and what it's doing is switching off our serotonin. So because our collective consciousness on the planet, and once again, this is for those people who are asleep and they haven't wakened yet, they're in a state of fear, and that's switching down their serotonin. So there will be more mental health issues, there will be more suicides. So we need to just calm down the acetylcholine, pick up the serotonin. right. That combination though of acetylcholine switching off your serotonin is also messing with the reticular activating system again. That system controls the hormones we release when something new is happening in our world. Yeah, so it's putting us into a pain and punishment circuit. I think this is why people are behaving so badly towards other human beings. You know, screaming and yelling at them. If their belief is you should wear a mask, then if you're not wearing a mask, they yell. Or if people think it's about the race thing, then they're creating the energy behind that. Or if people think it's about the environment, they're creating energy about that. We had a Freedom Day here in Brisbane on Saturday, and we had some very angry protesters, and we're for freedom, truth and integrity. And but they were a different agenda, and they were very, very hateful, and you sort of think, well, we're about freedom for all, freedom of sovereignty. Everything they believed in, we sort of agree with as well. So it's very interesting that because we're not directly following what they say, they don't get it. And I think this is the thing. The part of the big agenda is creating this division between human beings. Another reticular activating circuit. Okay. So once again, just thinking about, just energetically thinking about the globe. 7.8 billion people, just put that energy into the world. And just visualize loving, healing light over the entire globe. So we've just tapped into the amygdala rage. How many people have lost their jobs? How many people have lost loved ones? How many people are angry at all of the division that the political politicians are creating? There's some big stuff going on. There's a lot of legislation being put through without the full consent and knowledge of the people on the planet. A medical emergency like this year has allowed politicians more power than ever before. We're seeing it everywhere. So that one was noradrenaline and vigilance. So once again, the rage, part of that is coming from the people who believe that it's going to be the 2021, 2022 before life will be back to normal. The World Health Organization has come out and said, we don't think we should go back to a normal society anymore, but you know, they're hand in hand with the United Nations. So there's very interesting doctrine being put out there at the moment that are becoming mainstream beliefs. Oh yeah, no, we should never have more than 10 people at our home for the rest of our lives. We should never be able to be in pubs standing up drinking a beer again. Some crazy rules going on. Okay, good. So now let's have a look once again. No. No. I am safe, happy, and free. I am safe, happy, and free. I acknowledge my own sovereignty. I acknowledge my own sovereignty. Okay, so that's sacral chakra that's linking in with, which is so obviously it's to do with our sex organs, but it's also to do with our ability to create. So it's that feminine masculine energy that allows us to create the energy we want on the planet. So with this chakra showing up, it sort of indicates that people aren't seeing that they are creating their own destiny. By living in the fear, we are bowing to the big picture. By not seeing our world as a better place, as not paying attention to the big agendas going on, we're still asleep. So we need to be paying attention. We need to be looking at the energy of what we create in our world. Don't let the politicians win. Don't let that fear that they're trying to instill us, don't let that fear win. There was a study that was released by the CDC, by the World Health Organization, within the last few weeks. It was a study in, it was somewhere in the US, I think it was California, but that might be wrong. And it was a 2-week study and looked at people whether they were wearing masks or not. Don't know if you've seen this. I've tried to share it, but it keeps disappearing on Facebook, but it's straight off the CDC website. But it basically looked at people who wore masks 100% of the time, most of the time, some of the time, or never. And the number of COVID cases were directly connected. So the most cases of COVID-19 were in those wearing masks 100% of the time. The least amount of COVID cases, which was 0, were those who never wore. So you've got to remember, masks are incubators. And all the PCR testing, well, go look it up. But what is PCR testing? It's replicating RNA. RNA, the guy who designed it even says that it was designed to find retroviruses, cancer, anything that can create illness in people. He believed that a PCR test would find those little bits of protein that are causing issues with your DNA. So it was never, you'll need to go do your research, but it's just not accurate for COVID-19. So the numbers that they've been pushing all year, they are woefully inaccurate. So yeah, so sacral chakra. So I want you to think about, and once again, put my little planet online. So I'm going to visualize the planet. I want you to think about what you want in your world. I own my own destiny. I own my own choices. I own my own truth. I open my eyes to huge agendas that are going on. I believe in truth. I believe in the power of the individual. I believe that a small group of individuals can change the world. I am truth. I am power. I own my own sovereignty. Now embrace golden light, golden healing light through every cell in your body. Bring in white healing light, white spiritual, to meld with the gold, and just feel that embracing every cell in your body, releasing toxins, releasing negativity, releasing negative energy and negative belief systems. Breathe in the white and golden light. And breathe out toxicity. Breathe in the white and golden light. Breathe out negative energy. Breathe in white and golden light. Breathe out the belief in disease states. I hope this hasn't pushed too many buttons today. I'm hoping you feel lighter. I certainly do. My heart energy is really, it's feeling much better. It was quite dense, and there was just a huge amount of sadness and, yeah, negative energy when I first started this. So I hope you all have a beautiful, spectacular day. And I'll talk to you all soon. Love you guys.